Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So we had a range bar day before yesterday, and yesterday we ended up with a pretty solid bullish bar, opened on its low and sort of closed on its high. That's a fairly strong signal. Not going to read too much into it because we've had that already this week, and well, this month, should I rather say. And this was a pin bar, then the confirmation, and then we just went sideways. So not going to read too much into it just yet. We do have a close above the 155 EMA yet again on the daily. Oscillators are pointing to the upside. We have really bounced off a level. This is a level to the downside here, which is 1500 or 15010, and we're moving to the upside. So we have cleared this area. We've closed above it, which is 15266. That to me was the consolidation area. We are still technically in a bit of a downtrend at the moment, short-term downtrend. And if we start moving down through the time frames, you'll see there is a little bit of structure that's starting to form. So the first one is this inverse head and shoulders that we have closed. Let's not say closed. Don't trust that. It's not quite a close above this area. So this level that we have here at 15266, have a careful look. There's a shoulder, there's a head, and there's a shoulder. So that's an inverse head and shoulders. If we clear this properly, 15266, then you're looking for a move to the upside equal to the height of that consolidation pattern. And the interesting thing is that would bring us straight up into this area here. You can see, if I look left, you can see there's definitely merit for that being a fairly decent level. Important thing about that level is that it's a clear break of the trend line. Okay, so let's just get to the hour, and we'll have a look at the 15 as well, because I think you're probably going to be looking at the 15. So same scenario as what happened day before yesterday. You can see strong move up during the European session, then sideways into the US session. Strong move up, European session, sideways into the US session. So that's kind of the play. Can't really be trading in this environment. Wasn't really any structure here for us to trade off, to be quite honest. We had a bit of a gap. No, it wasn't a gap down. We sort of opened flat, then moved down, and then started buyers stepped in. So for me right now, what we have is a clear crossover of all the moving averages. So I'm looking for structure. Now the first bit of structure is definitely at 15266. If we drop below that, then what we're looking for is, you see the swing high here, because that was a bit of a double bottom type setup, which we did break and test, and then we dropped back below it again. So I would assume that that level would need to be tested, and have a look at what it ties up with, 155 EMA. So there's two scenarios here for me. One is a buy off a 15200, so a move down and then a buy off here, and then the other one is to look for a opportunity around the 15266. Best bet here is 15-minute chart, and you can see how the US session is just absolutely nowhere, completely confusing. So that's kind of the setup that I would be looking at, just looking for a few gaps here. I don't see any gaps here, so don't see gaps here either. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we're looking for. If we can get back onto this area here at 15266, then you have a 70-point stop loss. I'd move my stop loss just below the structure here. Possibly just look at the structure as well. So maybe a smallish position and then a stop below the swing low of yesterday. That would be kind of 170 points, fairly large stop, but then just keep your position really small. Reason for that is that we could come back to this area, or alternatively we could just drop to this area, and then there's another little bit of structure all the way down here. So that is also possible. That's the first scenario. The other scenario is if we just clear the highs of yesterday. So we clear this 15300 area, come back, close the gap, opportunity to buy as soon as we start seeing some price action, stop below the lows of going into close here, and then looking for the move to the upside. So bear in mind, pretty solid inverse head and shoulders that is in play here, and you can see pretty big bit of structure here. And the important thing is I also look at it as a rounding bottom. You can see low, lower low, higher low, rounding bottom. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of the structure I see. I think we may very well be on our way shortly. If these levels fail, then this is top of range and we're coming back down to the bottom here. So yeah, patience is key right now. Wait for the breaks, wait for the structure. If we get it, then definitely worth taking the long, because I suspect this head and shoulders will play out. If it doesn't play out, it's at least looking for something in the area of 15,570. 15,565 to 15,570. Anyway, that's it for me this morning. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.